Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, you mean I don't have to replace the batteries? Money for nothing, getting cracked for free. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You mean I don't have to replace the batteries? I love my elderly paternal grandma. I really do. It's just really hard not to laugh out loud when these things happen. So a few days ago, I was able to see my paternal grandparents again, and we gifted them each an iPhone so we could FaceTime with them. We'd had issues with mail thieves, so weren't taking chances to replace their old flip phones. We walked them through the new phones, helped preload some helpful apps, and run through FaceTime with them. Yesterday my grandma stopped by, looking confused. I was the only one home, so I got to have this first-hand experience. Grandma, epic, I need help. Me, with what, grandma? Grandma, pulls out phone replacing my phone battery. Me, stares, what? Grandma, my phone died. I need help to put in new batteries. I can't open the case. I kid you not, she pulled out a pair of AAS. At this point I realized what was going on and had to hold in my laughter. Me, gee grandma, you don't need to replace the batteries. Grandma was getting a little miffed when I had to fight laughing, but let me lead her over to a charging cable. She was really confused as I plugged in her phone into my charging cable. The look on her face when her phone powered on was priceless. Then embarrassed when I explained to her about how the phone needs to be plugged into charging cables to recharge. Grandma, oh, so like rechargeable batteries? Me, finally knowing it's safe to laugh, yes grandma. That day I introduced my grandmother to the concept of never having to change batteries. But I'm not going to teach her about the wireless stuff, she still thinks that it's impossible. Grandma, I love you. But sometimes, you can be a bit daft. Money for nothing, getting cracked for free. Monday morning. I can't seem to stop it no matter how hard I try. I try and muster enough vim and vigor to perform my daily sysadmin tasks like organizing the off-site backups, checking on the trouble tickets raised over the weekend, and performing the daily blood sacrifices required to keep the servers running. The office is quieter than usual due to an outbreak of the lurgy, and half the employees have called in sick. This would normally be a good thing as things aren't as busy, however the downside today is that JN or sysadmin is off sick, and I'm not feeling too well myself. Finishing up quickly, I was surprised to find that there was very little that needed doing, and that everything was running smoothly. Immediately, I went on high alert. This is not normal. Like the calm before the storm, it was an indication that something is coming. I try and calm down by going through the spam email trap filter and cleaning out the weekend buildup of spam email. My boss mistakes the hunted look on my face and asks me if I am feeling unwell. I am, but I will soldier on. While wading through all the usual unwanted sales emails, business proposals from Saudi princes, offers of romance from women living right next door to me, lead hacker attempts from outer Elbonia, and laughable death threats, I receive an urgent call. It's one of our branch's managers. It seems that he has had an epiphany. He believes that his business managers need to revolutionize the way they sell finance packages for cars, and this can only be achieved with the use of the website. The website will make them millions, solve all the world issues, and spread peace and love throughout the universe. Without the website, the company will be in dire straits within hours. I tune out his waffling and start mentally playing money for nothing, only to be brought back to reality with an almighty crash when he drops the bomb that they've already been trialing it for a couple of weeks now. They've been manually filling it up with customer data from our sales system and experimenting with it, but they have found it too slow for RDS users. Ignoring my screams of rage, he says they need this website up and running properly ASAP. Hanging up on him, I informed my boss and together we stormed over to our CFO's office to notify him that our branch manager decided to get it into his head to transfer customer data to a third-party company for no reason. Turns out senior management are aware of it and are trialing this website at this branch, but didn't bother telling us. Asking senior management what is so special about this bloody website gets me blank stares, so I slope off back to my desk where my boss told me to concentrate on this website, while he took the other incoming calls. This branch manager is known for running to the CEO and crying if he doesn't get his way, and at this time of financial difficulty, we don't want the headache of explaining to the CEO our reasons for doing this, further adding fuel to the fire that will get us fired. I contact the website company to get set up with access, so I can see this all dancing, all singing website for myself. It's an online spreadsheet with some reports. It's no different to the Excel spreadsheet that this branch and the other branches have been using for years now. The only difference is that this spreadsheet has fancy animations to transition from one screen to another, which is what is causing the slowdown for RDS users. What sort of certifiable lunatic looks at a spreadsheet and says what this really needs is more flash animation? I call the branch manager again and ask him what is so special about this website, as I can't see anything apart from a regular spreadsheet. He is so breathtaken with the website that he can't say a single thing that differentiates this from Excel. All he can come out with is that we need it. Point 2. I poke around the website myself, can't find anything that can't be found in Excel, then call up the website company to ask them what it's so special about it. The customer sales rep agrees with me that there is no real difference between this and Excel apart from the fact we are now paying these people monthly for the privilege of using their spreadsheet. I thought that car salespeople were immune to sales hype due to being asymptomatic carriers. Now I know better. After hanging up on the branch manager, I became aware of a one-man commotion coming from my boss's office. He'd been taking the calls while I was dealing with the website. I've taken to kneeling when saying this, so I decided to take a break and wandered over to ask him what was going on. One of our RDS users was transferring some money from his bank account when the bank called to notify him the transfer had been intercepted in a MITM attack, and they had put a block to the transfer. They thought that one of our systems had been infected with some sort of malware that targets this bank specifically. Knowing I was busy with the CEO's crony, he called our MSP to start the process going. I took over from my boss talking to the MSP, and we started putting a diagnosis plan into effect. We tracked it down to one particular server, and I was in the process of booting everyone off/isolating. During this, I keep getting calls from the branch manager and his group of business managers asking about when this website would be working properly. Then they started getting ideas like getting laptops for all the financial staff, so the website can run better and they can walk to the different buildings when customers are and do their deals. A bunch of people who I wouldn't trust with an Etch-a-Sketch want laptops with financial and customer data loaded on them under guidance from a man who let his son install Steam and a bunch of games on his company laptop. I tell them to forget it and continue isolating the malware on this server. I'm at the point where I don't care if the branch manager goes over my head and calls the CEO to complain that IT isn't helping them do their job. Maybe I'm being a dinosaur and been in the sysadmin game too long. I feel that keeping confidential data in-house and using the tools at your disposal is better than paying for cloud services hosted by nebulous companies that have popped up overnight and can disappear at the drop of a hat. Whenever I hear the phrase the cloud, I mentally replace it with someone else's computer. I seem to be part of a disappearing generation that valued privacy. Now I sit back and watch people shout to the world their most private information and think that it is no problem if they do the same thing with other people's information. I really don't know. Me thinks it is time to become a goat farmer.